much?
Hey, hold on! Do not throw away that fruit peel.
Huh?
Have you ever wondered what happens to those fruit peels once you finish the fruits? Do they become houses for tiny animals or maybe power-ups for a fun game, Mario Kart? Well, no. Did you know that most of the waste in Indonesia is dominated by food waste? According to the data from the Ministry of Environment and Forestry's National Waste Management Information System, in 2022, waste from food including fruit peels makes up 41% of the total amount of waste in Indonesia. Fruit waste itself is a type of organic waste which, if it is not managed properly, can cause environmental pollution such as unpleasant odors and could become a breeding ground for insects. This causes a decrease in environmental quality and has a negative impact on human health. In an attempt to reduce this number, the Good Peel decided to look for a way to make something useful out of fruit peel waste. The solution is by producing a fermented drink made of fruit peel waste that is frequently used in everyday life.
That is so disheartening. That is why we are trying to process fruit peels into something great. From this fruit peel, we can make a delicious and useful fermented drink. By combining fruit peels and spices, we can make an electrolyte drink that is good for your health.
Wow! Please tell me more!
The fermented drink is an electrolyte drink. What is an electrolyte drink, you may ask? An electrolyte drink is a liquid that contains ions, which can conduct electricity. These electrolyte ions come from the skin of the fruits, such as potassium, sodium, magnesium, and calcium. During the fermentation process, the electrolyte ions will be released from the fruit skin and dissolved. There are 4 fruits that we use for this fermented drink. The first fruit is pear, the second one is apple, the third one is pineapple, and the last one is lemon, therefore creating an electrolyte drink that has several benefits for the human body. This is also proven by the strong acidity of our drinks. An acid is defined as strong acid when it ionizes almost completely in an aqueous solution.
This means that there are many charged ions in the solution, allowing the solution to conduct electricity. Therefore, a strong acid will form a strong electrolyte.
The benefits of this fermented drink are 1. Helping to maintain the balance of minerals in the body, which help to maintain optimal body functions including muscle contractions, heart rates, and nerve function. 2. Contains minerals that can help maintain electrolyte balance in the body. An electrolyte drink can help increase hydration and help balance electrolyte loss due to physical activity or hot weather. 3. Contains probiotics which can help improve the digestive system. 4. Helps maintain heart health by controlling blood pressure and improving blood circulation. 5. Can help increase energy and stamina by maintaining muscle function and increasing blood flow through muscles.
We must do something about it. Let's go to the lab.
This fermented drink is an easy and useful thing to make if you have leftover fruit peels from the fruit you have eaten at home.
You will need these ingredients to make this fermented drink: a cloth, 50 grams of sugar, a cinnamon stick, the fruit peel of your choice. We recommend you to use lemon, apple, pineapple, or pear peels. You will also need a strainer, 500 ml of water, mixing tools, a jar, and a digital scale.
A digital scale? What is it for?
Using a digital scale helps to measure the exact amount of ingredients needed to make the fermented drink.
So, could the power of the digital scale be counted?
Of course, the power of the digital scale could be calculated from the battery. But how? The formula of power is as follows. Power equals to voltage times the electric current. As for the voltage, it is already written down in the battery, which is 3 volts. Now it's time to find the electric current by measuring it with an ammeter. How to measure it? First, prepare the digital scale's battery, the ammeter, and the red and black cables. Then, attach the ends of the red and black cables to the ammeter and the battery. Here you can see that the scale shown on the ammeter is 0.5 ampere, the maximum scale is 3 ampere, and the measuring limit is 0.6 ampere. The electric current could be calculated using the formula, which is the scale shown on the ammeter divided by the maximum scale multiplied by the measuring limit. The electric current of the digital scale's battery is 0.5 divided by 3 times 0.6, which can be converted to 0.1 ampere. So, the power from the digital scale's battery is 3 volt times 0.1 ampere, which equals to 0.3 watts.
The first step to do is to make sure that the fruit peel is thoroughly washed to remove unwanted bacteria and germs. Once you've done this, prepare a bottle or jar for your drink. Be sure to keep your workspace clean before using it to keep unwanted organisms away from the drink. Then, fill your jar with 500 milliliters of water, 50 grams of sugar, and finally the fruit peel of your choice. Mix well until the sugar dissolves in the water. You can also add spices like a cinnamon stick, lemongrass, or any other spices to improve the taste of the drink. You don't need measurements for this, just put as much as you need. Now, cover the jar with a cloth, secure it with a rubber band, and let the drink stand at room temperature for 3 days. Once the waiting time is up, your drink is finally ready to serve. Here's a little trick to get better flavors. You can put it in the fridge for a while and serve the drink while it's still cold. Isn't it cool? By making this drink, you can minimize the amount of fruit peel waste per day and save the environment.
Based on the experiments that have been done, the data is developed into exponential charts like the following. The general form of this function is y equals to a to the power of x, where a is the principal number or base. Meanwhile, x is the base variable, and the set of variables is called the function domain. Y is a dependent variable, and the set of variables is called the function range. The x variable is the number of fruits. The fermented drink that each fruit produces is the y variable. From the two graphics, there are two exponential equations, which are y equals to 0.3536e to the power of 0.4564x, and y equals to 0.7071e to the power of 0.4564x. From this, it can be seen that the line on the graphic constantly goes up when you look to the right, where a is larger than 1. From the characteristics of exponential equations, it is obvious that the function monotonously rises. In today's digital age, social media greatly affects everyone's life, especially teenagers. Wanna know how many hours teenagers spend on their phones every day? According to headphonesaddict.com, the average of teenagers spending their time on their phone is about 7 hours and 22 minutes per day, while the recommended usage of time is no more than 2 hours. Isn't it concerning? Social media affects most situations, especially in daily life, making them unnecessarily complicated and sometimes creating rifts between people due to misunderstandings. However, it is also important to note that the media also acts as a forum where people, especially young students, can express themselves freely without thinking about what societal pressures they may suffer. The media can help to raise awareness of new topics that were previously unpopular but important. One topic that falls into this category is food waste and its impacts on society's daily life. Food waste seems like something that is not harmful, but as mentioned before, organic waste also has terrible environmental effects. Its importance is often underestimated by many articles that focus on other waste considered more dangerous, such as plastic and others. It is rare that a person intentionally looks for food waste and ways to reduce it. The additional goal is to be aware of the impact of food waste and how to reduce it at home. And where to start? Of course, by checking at thegoodpeel.id on Instagram. There, you could access lots of information on how to deal with fruit peel waste and how to process it into fermented drinks. This is one of the uses of social media to design a higher quality life in the future.
And have you heard about the amazing Goody'S stand at St. Ursula High School? Isn't it amazing? Many people are excited to try their fermented drink. When you see the decorations on the stand, you might wonder what they are made of and how was the process behind it. Various tools and materials were used to create these decorations, such as used cardboards. They were recycled and transformed into attractive decorations to attract people. From these cardboards, the team made our mascot Goody, drink labels, and an interactive box with a QR code that leads to the Good Peel's Instagram page at thegoodpeel.id. Basic principles of art, such as points, lines, spaces, colors, shapes, textures, points of interest, and shadows and highlights, were also used to create these decorations. The goal is to delight consumers by drinking a fermented beverage and brighten their day while raising awareness of what can be done with fruit waste. Consumers can learn how to reduce the amount of waste they generate every day by starting small and working up to something big.
From the journey of the Good Peel, there are two Serbian values that Goody always keeps in mind. First, totality. From giving the best possible efforts to create a better environment with the students of St. Ursula Jakarta High School, Goody always pays attention to the small details to make sure everything is doing great. Next is love and compassion. From keeping the environment in mind, as well as making sure people would love to help the environment as much as Goody does. By the way, Goody will give you some tips if you want to make the drink yourself. First, Goody recommends you cover your jar with a cloth to make sure the fermentation goes well. Second, don't add too much water or spices to prevent the drink's flavor from getting overpowered. To reduce the alcohol from fermentation, reduce the length of the fermentation process. So now, if you're eating fruits, don't throw away the peels. Turn them into a healthy and delicious fermented drink like Goody did. Goody will be waiting for your contributions to improve our beloved world, starting with the simple things. Remember, small steps for a better future. See you next time!